want to think, you know, hey, I go to church and I sit in that pew right there. I sit in that one seat every week. Get that chest out. You know, I tithe. I do everything that's called for me to do. I volunteer. I do this. I do that. At the end of the day, they walking around with their head down, just the weight of the world on them, the weight of their life all over them. Is that what Jesus came to do? Is that what he did on the cross? Is that the goal? I can't find anywhere where God was a 90% God, 70% God. He's 100% God, at least for me, because in faith, I'll go that extra moment, I'll go that extra day, that extra week, to let him finish the work that he's begun in me. Now, he may not solve it the way I want it solved. Guess what? I got to get over myself. Because God likes being God. He really doesn't. He doesn't really appreciate anyone else being God, if you know what I mean. And so it's more important to focus on the process. So it isn't about more doctrine. It's not about building bigger churches. It's not about having more pastors, priests, ministers. It's about empowering the Holy Spirit each and every day by dying and renewing of my own spirit. I mean, how often did Jesus go away, be by himself, to be recharged, so that he could give more and more and more and more of himself? Did he ask to be the ruler? Did he ask to be the leader? Did he ask to be, Pontius Pilate? Did he ask to do any of those things? But in his teachings, did his disciples not misunderstand him every time, practically? It's not about this kingdom, it's about this kingdom. It's not about this power, it's about this power. It's not about the sword, it's about the sword. Those guys were running around dizzy. 2,000 years later, even though I have the Spirit of the living Lord in me, I walk around dizzy. What's that all about? It's about getting in tune to a soft, soft voice, a whisper. Like a perfect day in the Lord. It's not about not doing anything wrong. For me, it's about repenting 50, 60, 80 times. How can I say that I'm a child of God or that I'm a spirit-filled man when on the way to work someone cuts me off and I'm yelling at him or I have angst towards him? I mean, is that what it's all about? Is that why Jesus came? I challenge you to think about that. I challenge you to think about, is it really necessary to call people names? Call people out? Is it really necessary to identify a group of people because of their behavior? Or is that just out of fear? Do we really believe that we can legislate morality? That we can legislate goodness? Righteousness? I mean, in our deepest, quietest moments, do we really believe that if we pass another law about marriage, that all the gay people are going to, yeah, okay, now we understand? Is that what this is? Is that what's going to do it? Did Jesus say to Pontius Pilate, if you just pass a law that said no more crucifying people, we'd be okay? Or just let the Pharisees and Sadducees have more control over the Jews, it'll be okay? When did we make such a wrong turn as believers? When did we give up on God? When did that happen in this country? When did we turn and focus our attention to a government, to another man, instead of Abba for all the answers, for all the solutions? Look, what I'm trying to figure out now is, am I modeling the same behavior in times of struggle, uncertainty, confusion, tragedy? Or do I have different masks? Do I have different personas? You hear it often. Well, I can't act that way at work. I mean, I gotta act this way, and I gotta act this way at home, and it's like, what? Dude, what's that all about? That's not transparency. That's confusion. Transparency means that I'm the same way at work as I am at home, with my children, my boss, with an employee, my friend, with the stranger, with someone who I don't understand. That's transparency. It's not about putting my hand on their head. It's about helping them up. It's about encouraging them. I mean, have I bought in on the biblical promise that because I am God's spiritual child, I have supernatural wisdom? Do I believe that I possess the best answer to every problem? God's favor is upon me that allows me to understand it, or at least to persevere through it? I mean, am I modeling that? Or am I modeling something else? I mean, we have an opportunity here. It's no different than many other opportunities throughout the time of mankind, but this one's special because we live in it. All this is happening because you and I live now. I mean, the choice is simple. Do I want to listen to the quiet whisper of a powerful God? Or do I want to hear a loud voice of one person? And that's really what it comes down to. I don't know how they each play out. Not in this life. But I know victory has been won on one path. If I can focus on that, it's freeing. It may not always be fun, but giving away my joy is a choice I make. And I choose not to give it away. I choose to lean on hope and a faith through obedience that makes all things tolerable. I don't need to understand it to love through it. Not anymore. Before, it wasn't good. Before Jesus, it was ugly. But now, no. So it is in this season, not the last one or the next one, even though it's tough. And it's tough out there. I understand. I know. It's tough. That God has for us to press in on leaning on His ways to accomplish the impossible.